Hello, everybody. How are we doing? So, yeah, wearing the same gear because, I just wear the same gear every single day. Um, Saves washing it, doesn't it? It's not getting dirty. I'm just wearing it at night and coming down to Spence Farms. Keeps me nice and cozy and warm. Anyway, same night here as I've just done a beer review, but I've been really excited about reviewing this beer next. So I think it's good to review it. Now I've got a little bit of the taste of the last beer in my mouth, and I've had a drink of water and everything else. But the finish of that beer is just not lingering. Now, if we go to a beer festival, the one thing I will say about beers is they've got to be able to stand out amongst the crowd. So if you go to a beer festival and you have a beer, and then you have another beer, and then another beer, or whatever, each beer has got to be able to sort of be its own beer and stand out and everything else. So the fact that I've had a beer is not going to take anything away from this beer if it stands out, and I think it will. So this is a supermarket beer. Now, one of the things I love about this beer is, I'm just going to put this light on here. So there it is, Megadeth Beer Co, called Rattlehead. It's an IPA. It's a taste on evil. And it's 4.5% in a 440ml can. But most of all, best of all, this is gluten free. Now, the reason I know it's gluten free is because here on the back it says a GF there. Camera's making it look a little bit wobbly. Gluten-free beer in the supermarket. Megadeth, fantastic can out. Now, I've got a little bit of information here because it says here, scan to find out. So rather than do loads of research, I've just scanned that to see where it takes me. And it basically took me to the website where it shows you all about the beer in question and some information about it. So what is the information? So Megadeth, so a Rattlehead IPA, 4.5%. This is a 12 pack, and it's 20 quid incidentally for the 12 pack. I'm not sure where. I think I got this from Tesco's or Asda, but it's a supermarket beer. So this gold award-winning 4.5% IPA has been personally selected by legendary Megadeth founder Dave Mustaine. Naturally hazy and hop forward with tropical fruit flavours. It's gluten-free and it is brewed at the Black Sheep Brewery. I like Black Sheep Brewery, nice traditional brewery, and it's exclusively available in the UK. So if you look at Instagram, they've been really promoting this beer. They've been if you look on the actual Megadeth Instagram profile, they've really been promoting this beer, and it's all. And I think the Rattlehead. I'm sure Rattlehead is a Megadeth song. Let me just find that out. Just 1 second. Yes, so just got on iTunes on my phone, and there we go. Megadeth. It's scrolling across now. But basically, the song is, there it comes, Rattlehead. So it is a song by Megadeth. I thought it was. Megadeth, Rattlehead, Megadeth Beer Co., brewed by Black Sheep Brewery. Let's crack it open and see what it's about. Fantastic that it's gluten-free. There's quite a few. I've seen a couple more gluten-free beers that I was going to bring to the channel. I've drank one just on a night, and I was going to bring the other one. So watch this space. I'm really trying my best to bring some gluten-free stuff to the channel because it's good. It's good that people who are celiacs, wheat intolerant, gluten intolerant, can go and get themselves some craft beer. Now, because I'm just sitting here, I'm not behind the bar or anything, I'm chilling out, I've not got a stand to put this on. But there it is, beautiful can art. There, I'll just put this light on again so we can see, and highlights it a little bit better. Beautiful can art. Shame it ain't a peelable can, but I've stopped doing that now, to be quite honest with you, because it just takes up too much space. There, the Black Sheep Brewery. Or loads of information on there. Doesn't really say about. Just says it's a hazy tropical fruit flavours, which we like, don't we? In a hazy, like all the hazies. But 4.5%, quite a sessionable beer. So how much flavour is it going to have? Let's see and find out. Right, I'll keep the light on. Now that actually makes it look a bit paler than what it is. It's not that thin looking, to be honest with you. It is like a lot more better than that. That really shone through a bit too much. So even looking at that, from what I can sort of see, Yeah, that is about the colour it is. So it almost looks slightly sort of like washed out in the. It looks a little bit oranger to my eyes, but it's like a very light orange cordial sort of looking beer, but looks very good for a 4.5%. It's got quite a very dense head as well, white foamy head. I've turned the lights down in here. It's been cold all day. I want a little bit of warmth and a little bit of comfort and a bit of light. But like, you know, but if I turn this light on, you can see it, really see it shining. And it is quite, you know, if you really get a light through any sort of cordial, it seems a different colour at the top, but that's down to the glass. But the one thing I do notice, it's got a very good head, and it's a very thick head, and it looks like it's not really moving around too much. It's really quite good actually on appearance. So, oh, it smells quite nice. Actually, I keep saying this. I keep using this phrase with the beers about it being creamy, smelling creamy. This actually feels like it might have a really good mouthfeel. I've been seeing this beer over and over and over again on Instagram, and I've gone out and I've bought it and bringing it to you guys to see what I think of it. I think it might have been from Asda. I can't. It's either from Asda or Tesco, but they're always on the offer in the 4 for 3 or whatever it is. There's always on an offer there. Right, so I'm very impressed with the head. Though I'm very impressed with with what looks like a good dense beer for a 4.5%. Right, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. That is not bad at all, that ain't. And considering it's the Black Sheep Brewery as well, who are fundamentally traditional brewers, that's not a bad sort of crafty type. That's not a bad crafty beer. My very own Everard's Brewery have done many craft beers, and I still would say that they're better at doing the traditional beers than the craft beers. The craft beers are very good, don't get me wrong, but they do brew their craft beers in almost like a traditional manner. So there's always like a little bit of like traditional sort of like Everard's multi-flavours sort of running through them, which is a really unique thing, and I really do like that. But when it comes to like a massively hop-forward beer, like I don't think they've done. They keep the ABVs quite low as well, which, to be fair, is quite good. This is. This is quite good in its flavours. It's probably a little bit florally, which ain't a bad thing, but sometimes beers can be quite florally, and be a little bit too florally. Well, this is sort of like right on that borderline, I think. I'd like it to be a little less florally, but it is a really, really nice beer. Very quaffable, at 4.5%. Quite tropical. I think probably as well, probably a bit limey. So I get like I say, it's all subjective. So the flavours, I think I'm getting quite on the citrus side of this beer. It's quite limey, like sort of like lime juicy. It's got a nice subtle bitterness with it. It's got a good mouthfeel. Lovely levels of carbonation. Perfectly carbonated. Perfect levels of carbonation. It gives a nice little sort of like dancing flavour carbonation around your mouth without bloating you up, without making you like your mouth explode with carbonation. It really does develop a soft, if you swirl it around your mouth, it becomes a soft, pillowy, soft sort of like texture. Super refreshing. It's only 4.5%, so think about that one. You know, you're not going to get some massive amount of sort of like malty. You're not going to be able to like really overly hop this. That's the word I'm looking for. you're not going to be able to like give this a massive hop profile because you've not really got enough of them malts to balance it out, and that's where you could probably get a bit too much of a cup of hops, like a hop drink, you've. This is where the floraliness comes in for me. I'm sorry that I'm having a little sniffle. This is where the floraliness comes. If you imagine if you crumbled hop leaves and things into boiling water and sort of like swill it round, you'd sort of get this like hop cup of tea type of thing, a cup of tea made with like hop leaves. And you almost like, with a cup of tea, there's not many people I know like tea without milk. So you need the milk. So if you have a cup of tea without milk, it's very sort of like, I don't know, it's too tannin, isn't it? It's too tea-y. And sometimes what can happen with a beer is it's almost like you're having a cup of hops without the malts. So when you get to a 4.5% sort of like, I'd say this was a session IPA. When you get to a 4.5% IPA, you've not got lots of sugars from the malts to really balance out any big hop profile. So if you're trying to make an IPA have a very big hop profile, if you've not got that malts to take away that like sort of like that hit of the malts, a hit of the hops, a hit of the hops, the hops can come across a little bit too florally, a little bit too like a cup of tea without the milk. If you understand, I love a nice strong builder's cup of tea, but I can't drink the tea without milk. It just takes off the tannin of the tea, and they've got this just about right. I think if they was to make this a little bit stronger, probably 5%, just have a little bit more malt bill, it'd just balance the hops a little bit more. But it's not a criticism and it's not a bad thing. The more I drink this, the more I am getting some of them like some of that malt balance in there. It's a nice balanced beer. But overall, you know, we talk about supermarket beers being sort of like a low budget sort of beer. This really, with its massive advertisement campaign that I've seen on Instagram, is basically living up to a good name. It's living up to a good, that it's not disappointing, if you know what I mean. And the fact it's gluten free is absolutely fantastic. I really like that, because there's big breweries, and I'm going to name my own brewery, Everard's. They've not done any gluten free beer yet, and like I said, I'm not knocking them for it, because I know that to set up to do that. But, you know, there's lots of breweries doing gluten-free beer, and I think that more breweries need to put a bit more effort in to doing it. I love Everard's, and I love all the other breweries, but if you're not doing gluten-free beer yet, you need to, from my opinion, you need to jump on that. You need to jump on that a little bit, get it sorted. Great head retention, great lacing on the glass. The more I drink of this beer, the more I am getting some of their sweetness of the malts, and it really is. And I have actually said I've had a beer before this, so I've got to give this chance to give me what it's giving. So the citrus notes in this are quite bright. It's very, like I said, there's a liminess about this. And I know my mate loves lime in beers, so like he'd probably drink this. Oh, it's really lovely. You can taste the lime in that. It's really, really nice. For me, like limey and lemony stuff can be a bit, but that's not a criticism to the beer. It's just a criticism to my taste buds. And what it is, if you're watching me review this beer is absolutely great, but you're going to get them quite sharp, limey, citrusy flavours within the tropical fruit flavours. Overall, would I buy this beer again? Absolutely, and I am going to buy this beer again. When we have a Spencer Rendell's night, as we call it, my mate is he needs gluten-free beers. We're always bringing gluten-free beers to the evening, and this will definitely be one that I will bring. I would say this is a very, very good example of a supermarket gluten-free beer. And if I was scoring this beer, which I don't really score beers unless I give them a 10 out of 10, out of 10, if I was scoring this beer, I would give this a good 7 out of 10. Because I think for a gluten-free beer that's in the supermarket with a nice music theme towards it, it's ticking all the boxes for my mate because he loves all that sort of like rock, metal. Well, I do as well. You know, I'm not really heard a lot of Megadeth stuff, but I like Iron Maiden, that sort of thing, Black Sabbath, all that sort of stuff. I even like System of the Down. You know, if you want like a little bit of thrash there or whatever. And I just think that like get a bit of like rock on, get a bit of Megadeth on, pour one of these out, have it. It's ticking all the boxes. Great music, great beer, gluten free, bang on. And as one a massive tick, a big tick for the Black Sheep Brewery, who have brewed a craft beer which is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. I would say if you've never had a craft beer before and you drank that, it would open your eyes a little bit. It'd make you think like, oh, what's that? And I tell you what that is. It's the hops. There's a good hop profile in that, but I think it's a Citra hop profile, and it's quite forward in the Citra flavors. Yeah, I think that's a good thing because I've actually drank a beer that I think is quite forward in the Citra flavours that's not made me go, ooh, because some beers I've had that are forward in the Citra flavours make me go, ooh. Right, this has been Speno. This has been a nice, cosy, warm evening down at Spencer Arms. Take care of yourself and keep safe in this weather. I think we're going to have some snow. Is it going to be a white Christmas? Don't know. Could be. Right, where's my zapper? See if it works on the first time. It's normally 2.